Okay, today I want to make a video about props in React, how pass props to components and render them on the screen. Let me see where to start at here. We got a users page here. Let me see. Already got it all wrote out. This users list will be the actual it'll be the list of users, and we got, as you can see here, we're taking in props up here, and we check if props.items.length is equal to 0. So we're using an array here with expecting an items prop. So wherever we use this set, we have to make sure we give it that items prop. So right here where we use users list is here. We got items here, and this users page is where we use the users list. We set items here to an array of users, which is up here is an array of objects. The first one is right here. If we copied this, so imagine that you got 1,000 of these coming from back end or something similar. You only have to do this one time, and they just keep getting cycled through. Let's save this, and then we bring in the user's item here. The user's item is what gets projected onto the screen, which would be the single items here. Normally this would be like a card component, or be fixed up better than what it is right now. But I just wanted to show you how we pass props through here. So we start here. We take in props. We check the length of the array. If it's 0, then we output a div no users found. And if we don't make it into this if statement, we'll make it into this return statement here. And we got an unordered list where we use the map method, and we circle through each one of these users here, and put in a user's item. Essentially is what we're doing. We're setting the key to user ID, because you gotta have this key prop, or you're just going to complain about not having a key prop. If you gotta set it to, the key prop's gotta be set to some unique identifier. So in here we got set to this ID, which I guess I need to change. So we can change this to U2. We'll change that to 1, just to see a difference. And also, the thing to keep here is when we use user item and we use friend count to get user.friends, which is we're getting this number off of here, and we're calling it user because what we call it right here. So it's going to go through each item, and each is going to be in each one of these objects is going to be the user. And then we set name to user.name, which is coming from right here. Then we set ID to ID, image to user.image, which is coming from right here. It's just a random picture I found on the internet of some other guy. Location is user.location, which is coming from right there. Friend counts come from user.friends, which is coming from right there. So the value of friend count is 3. The value of location will be Birmingham, Alabama. The image, the value of image will be that URL, and the ID will be that U1 or U2, and then the name will be James Haygood, and the key will be the ID, which is U1 or U2. Now, whenever we use that here, where user's item is, we don't use with props.name. We're getting the props from here. So it'll be, these are the props now. So props.name is coming from there. Props.location is coming from right here. Props.image for the source and props.name for the alt is coming from right here, which is getting, which you know, and well, I'll go back to it in a second. And then props.friend count. No, friend, that's the only one that's different in this whole list is the friend count. Friend count's here, and actually where it's getting it from, you know, it's called friends. So I did that just to keep it so we could differentiate between where which component is pulling its props from. And you see, this is I got this written as a UL, which I guess you could write it as a div or whatever, but just to be semantically correct, I guess I put a UL for unordered list, and then here a LI for a list item. So basically, what this is doing, this map method here, is returning this user item, you know, which is here, which is this LI right here, basically. So basically, for each time it cycles through this object, then this object. This is, like I said, an array of objects. So it goes through this object and this object, pulls these values out, puts the values in here, and then we're pulling those values from these key value pairs here and here, and injecting this LI into this UL each time. So if you have 1,000 of those, it don't matter if you got 1 or 1,000, because it's going to be the same code. You know, in the real world, you be pulling this information from a database or something, somewhere from a back end, you know, not from, you know, right here in your local code. So you don't have to write, you know, you don't have to, you know, normally this would be a card or something better than this, but you don't have to write these separately. And well, that's the basic idea of props, passing props from one component to another. And the idea is this, you know, you have the props can be passed down from from top component to bottom component, the next component. They pass them down. That's the basic idea of props.